Are you there, bud?
Hold on, hold on. I'm coming.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did you want to put your little avatar on?
Um, I don't know where my avatar is. Hold on.
Okay. I know you at least want to cover your camera. I know you don't want to be on
Yes,
screen.
no, I do not want to be on. Not right now. Okay,
There
there
we
we go.
go. There's Boomer.
There we go. We are
We
getting
are
there.
here. We're live.
You saw the craziness if you just saw me.
Well, no, we
Oh,
didn't really get to see you. We just saw hands and just moving the ceiling and things like that. So you're good. You're good.
oh, good, because that would have been scary. Very scary.
Well, it's October 13th, and for everybody who's listening, you're tuned into the first episode of our fourth annual October Pet Spooktacular event. I'm your host, Jay, and of course, as you just saw, joining me on this Friday the 13th night is my lovely co-host, Dee.
I don't know about that.
Oh, if you can see me right now, hey.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm really playing the part of Friday the 13th right now. It's been a long day. Let's put it that way. It started at 3 o'clock, so it's been a long
oh
day.
yeah, it really has been. Well, mine started at 4, so yeah, it's been a long
It's been
and
a long day.
it's been a little while since we got off from work, especially for you. Um, so we just wanted to take this time to, join you, take out about 30 minutes and join you guys, and we're happy that you're here with us. Tonight's episode is entitled Creepy Destinations, the Most Haunted Places Around the World. But before we start, I just want to remind everyone that our Spider Goats Revisited episode was rescheduled to next Friday, October 20th, due to Hurricane Nate. It was originally supposed to air last Saturday at 5 p.m. So next week we have 2 episodes on 2 back-to-back nights. We have the Spider Goats on Friday, and we have the Creatures That Don't Exist, Creepy Cryptids Return on Saturday the 21st. The Spider Goats will actually be at 8 p.m. Central next Friday. I hope I didn't say 5. That's going to be at 8, and the Creatures That Don't Exist on Saturday the 21st will be at our normal time, 5 p.m. Central. So be ready for double the creep power starting next week. And speaking of creepy, tonight, we have a treat for you. We're going to be talking about some of the scariest places on Earth.
We always do this at night, Jay. You ever
We
notice that each time we do this, we always end up doing it when it's at night? Why do we do that? Why?
it was raining over here. I don't know if
It
it's
was
raining your way.
no, the bottom fell out. It rained so hard over here. I was thinking, what's going on right now?
Yeah, because when I was on your side of town, it was raining at like close to 4 o'clock, but it's rained again since then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Most definitely.
So I'm glad that stopped. So that helps with it not being so creepy in here, because we want to creep you guys out, but it's not so much fun when we're creeped out too. But that
No.
usually happens. We're gonna get creeped out.
Of
But
course.
Dee, this one, I don't know if you've heard of this because this is in one of your favorite places. Have you heard of Bangar Fort in India?
I think I have actually. It was on one of the places to see or places to visit. I did not. Um,
Sounds like it might be for the best.
I did not. But tell us, Jay. Tell us about Bangor Ford.
It says Bangar Fort is on the way from, and I'm probably gonna butcher these names. Jaipur. It's from Jaipur to Alwar in Rajasthan, India. And according to legend, Singya, a black magic tantric, cursed the palace so that everybody's soul will stay there for centuries without rebirth. Another interesting point is all the houses in this area are without roofs because whenever a house is built with a roof, the roof collapses. No fun. This is called the most haunted place in India. People who visit this place experience anxiety and restlessness. It's said that nobody returns from this place that stays after dark. And the government has actually prohibited the area, prohibited anyone from staying after sunset, because you'll actually find a board installed by the Archaeological Survey of India displaying staying after sunset is strictly prohibited in this area.
Drove through there, Jay. We went through that area. I know exactly what you're talking about.
No.
Yeah, we went through that area. I don't want to go into the whole big story, but anyway, we went through that area. I do believe because I remember that actual place, or they're talking about that place, and it's been a while, so I can't get the specifics of it. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm going to say this. If it's somewhere where the government actually has to step in and tell you don't stay after sunset, I'm going to go with the government. I'm cool. I'm like, if y'all don't want me there after sunset, I'm good. I don't think I'll go there at all. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it just doesn't exist in this country. But we do have places in this country.
Yes, we do. I saw quite a few.
That probably wouldn't be on my to-do list if I were going to visit Iowa. There is a place called the Viscilla. I'm not even sure how you pronounce it, but it's Villisca. Axe Murder House.
Ooh.
And apparently, on June 10th, 1912, Josiah and Sarah Moore and their 4 children and 2 visiting guests were bludgeoned to death inside the quiet Iowa home. The crime remains unsolved, and much of the home is still intact from the fateful night, with no running water or electricity, which proves that the special ambiance for the many who have shelled out $400. Yes, there are people that go there, pay money to stay in this house, that have shelled out $400 to go stay in this house. I'm sorry, I just got stuck on that. I'm like, people are paying money to go in this house. But anyway, there was a they tell you can visit at your own risk. But in 2014, a paranormal investigator, and of course we've seen all those shows on TV of all those people that go to those houses and try to pick up on the paranormal. I think we've done a show or two.
Yes.
Who booked a room, he ended up stabbing himself by morning.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
2014. That was recent.
Yeah, very recent. So let me just tell you, don't see myself being in Iowa anytime soon. But if I am, I will not be going there.
No, I'm good on that. No, thank you. No, thank you. What was that called again?
It is, and I will spell it. It is Villisca, Axe Murder House. Viscilla, something like that. But it's in actual Viscilla, Iowa. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, we've got a couple of axe places here in America. There's the Lizzie Borden thing that's on the list that maybe want to talk about. But well, we all know. Well, most Americans, I think, know the Lizzie Borden legend. But I may come back to that one since that one's so popular. I think most people have heard of that. But we'll see. This one, I'd heard of this and I read about this before, but I think it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre because this is real. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California.
No.
Well, here's the backstory for that one. Sarah Winchester commissioned the building of her mystery house in 1886 after her husband, who was the gun magnate William Wirt Winchester, you know, the Winchester.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so she was married to that Winchester. So she commissioned the building of this house after he died of tuberculosis and her infant daughter died shortly after. Okay. Now, here's the kooky part. She was told by a medium that she would forever be haunted by the ghost of those killed with Winchester rifles unless she started building nonstop. So this poor woman, because because of what this medium told her, and she was afraid of the ghost of all the people who've been killed by the guns that her husband, you know, had invented or whatever. She used the money that she inherited from her husband's death, and she employed 16 carpenters who worked 24 hours a day until her death in 1922. And it resulted in a bizarre house that at its peak had a total of 200 rooms, 10,000 windows, and 2,000 trap doors, regular doors, and spy holes.
Are you serious?
So this is actually real. She actually employed 16 carpenters, and I guess they worked in shifts, and they built 24 hours a day.
Wow.
So her husband died in 1886, and she kept building until her death in 1922.
That, I mean, can you just imagine what goes through your mind? I mean, your mind has to become literally possessed. Like,
it would have to.
It just be, like, for you to be on that kind of a tangent.
To use all the money that you inherited and just to build that many rooms onto a house. Rooms you're probably never going to use.
Wow. That is insane, but that is just so creepy. Can you imagine being in that area and you're just like, what's going on? She's building the house because she doesn't want, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do further research on that one because I think it's still standing, but I didn't really get to do a lot of research about its present incarnation. You know, I don't know if it still has all those rooms because they just said at its peak, that's what it had, a total of 200 rooms.
Wow.
That's
is there a picture of it? Do you have a picture of it?
You know what? I think there was a picture of it, but when I printed the information out, I kind of cut out the images. But I'm going to go back to the website that I got it off of, and I'll actually post that too so people can see it.
Okay. Well, Jay got a question for you.
All righty. Shoot.
How about you and I go for a little vacay girls trip down to Florida, Palm Beach County?
It sounds awesome at first, the way you're wording it, but I'm afraid of where we're going.
Well, if we do go there, we're gonna drop a little visit by the Riddle House.
I've heard of the Riddle House, but I don't know. I can't remember what's going on with it, but I know it's nothing good.
Well, yeah, you know there's nothing good.
No.
Well, let me just tell you. By the way, we're not going to the Riddle House, and we're not going anyway. It was originally a funeral parlor. The Victorian house was dismantled and rebuilt in Yesteryear Village at the South Florida Fairgrounds. In the 1920s, the house became privately owned by a man named Carl Riddle. Joseph and one of Riddle's former employees committed suicide by hanging himself. Joseph, one of Riddle's former employees, committed suicide by hanging himself in the attic of the house. Joseph, for whatever reason, hated men and displays this hatred by attacking men who entered the attic. One man had a lid flung at his head, and men are now no longer allowed in the attic. Other places, they say, in the house are haunted as well, with furniture being frequently moved around with no apparent reason or rhyme why.
No, I'm good. Even though I'm not a man, I'm still good. I think I might be a little safer as a woman, but
we would be safe. We're girls.
I'm not going to test
us. He doesn't want us.
I'm not going to test that. That's okay.
Okay. Well, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You're good? Okay.
Speaking of, it's interesting that you mentioned funeral homes because one of the other ones that kind of freaked me out was also about a former funeral home. And you've heard, everybody probably here in the North America has heard of the movie The Haunting in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, that was based on a true story because I first heard about it on this show that used to come on called A Haunting. This was before they made the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just say I saw this, I want to say it was actually Christmas night 2004, and it scared the crap out of me because you know how they do the reenactments of it.
Yes.
And it scared me so bad. And I was home alone because my husband had gone to the movies with some of his family. And I didn't want to But basically, to give a um, it tells the story of the Snedeker family. And this was in 1986. They rented an old house in Southington, Connecticut. One of their young sons, I think he was undergoing treatment for, I don't know if he had leukemia or it was something like that, but he was having to make frequent trips to the hospital. And I think they originally lived in New York or something like that. And they were having to drive back and forth to Connecticut. So they needed something closer. So his mom rented this house, and I think it was at a pretty good bargain type deal or whatever, because they were tight on cash. And so they get this house in Southington, Connecticut, and they move in there with their daughter and their three sons. And while exploring the new home, Carmen, who's the mom, she found strange items in the basement. Basically, she found the tools used by morticians. So she found some funeral home relics. And the family soon discovered, to their horror, that their home had once been a funeral parlor, and the eldest son began seeing ghosts and terrifying visions. The experiences spread to other family members and got worse. Both parents said they were raped and sodomized by demons.
No.
It scared the crap out of me. One day, as Carmen mopped the kitchen floor, now the way they show it on the show that I watched, this was early on before they moved in. Now this was when, like how when you're moving into a rental house or whatever, and you just kind of go and clean up or sweep up or mop. She was mopping in the kitchen, and it was her and I guess the lady who showed her the house, or I don't know, the realtor or somebody, or someone was with her anyway. And while she was mopping, the water suddenly turned blood red and it smelled of decaying flesh.
Oh no. Time to go.
Say is, if that really did happen at the beginning of it, I'm sorry. And I understand, because when I looked at the little documentary, they said they pretty much sunk a lot of money into this, and they really needed to be close to their son's hospital because he had a life-threatening illness. But I'm sorry.
Either they would have given me a room in the hospital, or we would have had to sleep in our car out front, because once blood and decaying flesh starts to come out the faucet, it's over. Game over. It's over. It's done. You know what? Oh well. We've lost some money, but no, it ain't happening.
That would not have happened. I'm sorry.
Not happening. No.
They could sue us. We could go bankrupt. If I was buying a house, it wouldn't matter.
You could sue me for the rest of my life. You could take whatever you want, but it ain't happening. No, I'm sorry.
That wouldn't happen.
You fix the bloody faucet, and I will give you back I will give you some money. Yeah, no. No. Well,
that wouldn't affect you. That one was freaky, and the Warrens were involved with that, Ed and Lorraine Warren, because I think they were real people too. They were there investigating that one, so they were there for that. So yeah,
you can have that though. Yeah, it makes me not want to do Airbnb anytime soon.
No,
creepy. Well, I tell you what, this one is just creepy anyway, but the Ridges. The Ridges, that's how it comes up. It's called the Ridges, originally known as Athens Lunatic Asylum.
Oh,
right. The Ridges was renamed after the state of Ohio when they acquired the property. The hospital saw hundreds of lobotomies and often declared masturbation and epilepsy to be the causes of the insanity in the patients. Athens, Ohio is listed as the 13th most haunted place in the world. Did you know that, Jay? Did you know that Athens, Ohio is the third? Yeah, no.
Didn't know that, but I bet you Connecticut's up there too, because they have a lot of crap going on.
Yes. Let's see. The notorious rapist, and which I did not know about this person, but I kind of want to read about him a little bit. I don't know why, but I do. There's a notorious rapist with a dissociative identity disorder. His name is Billy Milligan. Have you ever heard of him? He was actually housed in this facility for years. The most famous story that came out of this facility is the one I want to tell you guys about. Is about a 54-year-old female patient who one day ran away and was missing for 6 weeks. She was found dead in one of the unused wards. So she was actually in the hospital. She never really left the place. She had taken
Oh.
all of her clothes. When they found her, she had taken all of her clothes off and neatly folded them and laid down on the cold concrete where she eventually died. Through a combination of decomposition and sun exposure, her corpse left a permanent stain on the floor,
Ah,
which is still visible today. And they say her spirit now haunts the abandoned ward. But you
okay.
can go there now and you will see her outline of her body on the floor.
That's horrible.
Yes, it is. And I won't be going to Athens anytime soon.
No, no. Let me make a mental note of that in case I happen to move. I'm not moving there.
Athens, Athens, Athens. No, thank you. No, thank
Okay.
you.
Let's
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah, that no. Not doing that one. I'm trying to find another one outside of the US. Let me see.
Okay.
Now this one's in Scotland, Edinburgh Castle.
I've heard of that. I've
Yeah.
heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's perched atop a rocky crag, giving it an amazing vista of the Scottish Hills. So I bet it's really pretty, really
Well,
beautiful
yeah, at the
from that
daytime.
view. Yeah, in the daytime.
In the
That's
daytime, because that's the only time I'd
um
be seeing it from my car as I drove by. Okay, I'm
yes.
sorry, Jay.
No, exactly. I feel the same way. But inside the empty halls and narrow streets of Edinburgh, there are the echoes of the dead. At least that's what's being reported. Hot spots for specters include the castle's prison cells, the South Bridge vaults, and Mary's King Close, a disused street used to quarantine and eventually entomb victims of the plague. Happy times. Um, there are also reports of ghost dogs, a headless drummer, and the bodies of prisoners taken during the French Seven-Year War and the American War of Independence. So I'm pretty awesome at not visiting that castle, at least not at nighttime. Maybe I do
Yeah.
it in a group tour in broad daylight, but it would have to be like 10 in the morning.
It
No sign
would
of
have a
darkness
specific time, huh, Jay?
coming at
It's got
all
to be at 10 a.m.
on
in
a
the
bright
morning
sunny day.
on a bright sunny day when there are unicorns and poppies and flowers all outside.
Yes,
I
and
don't blame you.
preferably a lot of people walking around outside and inside in a huge group tour.
And everybody has to be laughing.
Yes, yes, no other way I'm doing it.
Okay, we understand how Jay's going to go.
If you guys could see what's going on right now, my sweet husband just delivered me a milkshake while I'm doing the show. So that
Oh,
was
how
really sweet of him to
sweet.
sort of lighten the mood and take my
Girl,
mind
did he?
off of this.
He's like, here, drink this. Milkshakes are happy.
Yes, because no, we're not doing that castle. Like I said, now that one I might would consider, even though it was kind of creepy to think about that some of the people were eventually entombed there, and I guess
Mm.
maybe they still are, and poor things, they died of the plague. So
Oh, that's so horrible.
that's really
Well, Jay, it would be the scariest places on earth in my world without me mentioning this next place because this is my go-to. This particular movie,
oh
when I saw it as a
yes.
young child, scared the living daylights out of me. And still to this day, anytime I see this house, anytime I see it's got a face, and it just scares me. And it is the Amityville Horror House. It just freaks me out. But it's my go-to scary story. This movie scared me so bad as a
That
kid.
movie scared all of us, I think, because my husband was traumatized by it.
I mean, still to this day, like if this even came on in my room when I would literally, please don't even people, Amityville House in 1974. For those of you who don't know, in 1974, six members of the Defoe, or is it DeFeo or Defoe?
I think
DeFeo?
it's the DeFeo.
DeFeo. Okay. In 1974, six members of the DeFeo family were found slain in this home. The eldest son, Ronald DeFeo Jr., was later convicted of murdering his parents and siblings. A year later, the Lutz family, lucky ducks that they were, moved in but quickly moved out. After reports of unexplained paranormal activity, strange odors, unexplained cold drafts, and an apparition that took the form of a demonic pig-like creature.
Oh, I remember that from the movie.
Yes. Can you, please? There is no way. I am sorry. No. The first, no.
But here's the thing, because I remember there's a show called Coast to Coast AM, and I listened at, I don't know if it was that one or another one of those type of paranormal radio shows, and they had Mr. Lutz on there, the father, him and the wife, they're now divorced and everything, but he was talking about how, you know, the realtor or whoever did disclose to them what had happened in the house. And he said they actually had a family meeting and they did discuss it with the kids, and they explained to them, hey, a family was murdered here, blah, blah, blah. Are y'all okay with, you know, still moving here? You know, and he said the kids said it didn't bother them. So, you know, they all decided as a family, you know, it kind of bothered them, I guess, a little bit, but it wasn't enough for them to not get the house, because they said it was a good deal and they really loved it, and it provided the size and everything that they needed. So, you know, they didn't think anything of it, and they moved in, and, well, we know what happened.
Well, yes, we do. And let me just tell you, you let my family come. I mean, you know, we have our own things in my place where I live, but, you know, we're not even going to go into that, but nowhere near.
No, of course not.
Nowhere near that. And let me just tell you, let's have a family meeting. Okay, kids, by the way, we're going to have a family meeting to discuss whether or not we're going to live in this house. Okay, well, we have to just tell you, there's a disclaimer. A family was murdered in this house. That would have been it. It would have been like, nope, I vote no. I vote no.
That would have been me. Or because my thing would be, if y'all are still gonna move in here anyway, I'm going with grandma and grandpa or auntie somebody. I'm
officially trying to emancipate myself, because we are done. We are done. As a family, we are done. It's over. It's nice knowing you. I'll send you pictures of the wedding. We are done. We are done.
Nope. That would have never happened. That would
be over.
But the weird thing is, Dee, it's like now the people who have lived there since then, I don't know how many families have lived there, but everybody else claims they don't experience anything. And some people to this day feel like it was a hoax.
See,
I think they had some skeptics going, here's my thing, I'm not going to find out. I wouldn't spend the night there to find out. I'm not going in, you know, maybe some of that stuff could be hoaxes. I'm not going to be the one to prove them wrong. I'm not going to do it.
Well, I want to do one more quickly, just in case we don't get this one, because I just found this. I never thought about it or whatever. But did you know that the White House is haunted?
No, I didn't.
Well, yes, it is, apparently. Yeah. And for years, there have been reports that the White House is a hotbed of haunted activity. Visitors, staff, and even White House residents have reported seeing ghosts of Abraham Lincoln, Abigail Adams, Andrew Jackson, and to name a few, and FDR and Winston Churchill are among those who claim to have seen the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. More recently, the Obamas claim to have repeatedly heard strange sounds and felt a sensation of someone gnawing at their feet in the middle of the night.
Gnawing at their feet?
Gnawing at their feet. That's why I wanted to get that one in there, because I'm like, what? When I read it, I was like, might not have been 8 years.
No, wouldn't even been one.
I know, right? I'm sorry, we're going to have a press conference in the Rose Garden. It is over. Unless you can let me do this here in my house, my private residence. It ain't happening here. No, but I never knew that.
Now, what room in the White House is this again? I need to know.
It is, well, it says that it's just the entire house, I think.
No.
Yeah, it's just the whole house. That it's a haunted activity.
That they could shut off or something?
No, because I would brick that sucker. No, apparently it's the whole house. So they just say it's just a lot of haunted activity.
Wonder, has anyone ever died there? Did any past presidents? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you know, I don't
has
necessarily.
Anyone died in office?
Well, you know, Kennedy, was assassinated.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Kennedy was
was. He
in.
just didn't
I
die
mean,
there. But
yeah,
yeah,
he didn't die there, but he was assassinated, and there was some other people.
because I'm trying to see, yeah, were there any like older presidents who
Yeah.
actually died while
Well,
they were?
there were some. Well, I can't because I'm horrible with my history, but for
Yeah,
some
that.
reason I remember. I think there was one that one got sick and died or something like that. So I
Yeah,
want to say that
probably
there
was.
have
And then
been.
maybe some past employees or something, you know,
Yeah,
servants. You never
yeah.
know.
You never know. You never know what's. You never know.
Okay, well,
I thought
good.
that would just be like because I was like I did not know this. This has to be told. I never knew. But
Well,
you
good
think
luck.
about it. You think about it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck to the current pres and his family. I'm glad it ain't me.
Good luck to you. Good luck to you.
No, no. Well, I guess. Well, wow, this 30 minutes went by quick.
It always does when we do these kinds of
Yeah,
shows.
yeah, it does. Well, I will be sure to post the link to some of the other ones because there was a lot of them we didn't get to talk about. But who knows? Maybe we could be a potential bonus episode. You never.
Yeah, you never know. As they do the pop-up shops, we could do a pop-up show.
Yeah, yeah, because we still got a lot of October left.
Yep.
But just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully we didn't creep you out too much
I'm glad
because
I was able to be a part of it.
I'm glad you were, and I really hope that you're able to be a part of it next Friday night at 8.
Yes.
Because this topic will be less creepy. We're kind of going back more into the science realm, and that's where we're going to revisit our topic of the spider goats. And we'll go over that again for those of you who may not have listened to our first episode about the spider goats, because I think that was like in 2014 or 2015. I think that was our first season that we did that.
Yeah.
But we will be revisiting that and similar topics about how animals and science merge. So some of that stuff's kind of freaky, not creepy so much. But
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you're like, ew. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Not.
even when we first heard the term spider goats, I remember you were kind of thinking goats with 8 legs or what's going
Well, that's
on?
what I was thinking. I was like, how does that work?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, it's not that. It's not like literally a spider and goat merged. More like DNA merge, but we'll explain that next week. And we're going to touch on other topics related to that. So just remember next week, we've got 2 back-to-back. We've got the spider goats at 8 p.m. next Friday, which will be the 20th. And on the 21st, we have our other episode. Where are my notes? I read it earlier. We're doing the creatures that don't exist, creepy cryptids return. And that will be at 5 p.m. Central on Saturday the 21st. So we will see you guys back here in a week, assuming you survive. I didn't really mean that. We'll all be here. Happy Friday the 13th.
Go see Medea's Boo too. I saw that. So I didn't see
yeah,
it, but
see,
I saw
that'll be something that's lighthearted. It's semi-scary, but not really scary. It's more fun.
Yeah, it's a spoof.
So go at least look on YouTube and look at the trailer, and that'll immediately take your mind off of all this stuff we were talking about.
And we were not paid for that endorsement. It just looked funny.
Yeah, it looks really fun because I really still have to finish looking at the other one.
I've never seen it either.
We had one before this one, and I think we got an hour into it or something, and the DVD froze up or something like that. So I have to finish looking at that one.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Dee, for joining us for this one. We look forward to you coming back next Friday.
I hope so.
Yeah, you'll be back. But until then, here's to wishing you guys a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye.